A very good day, everyone who is watching, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Anelation. Go by the name of Anelation Music, which I gave myself, I think, at the age of 15, 16, when I really started developing interest in music production. Actually in writing songs, to be precise. So before we start this session, I think it's gonna be the beginning of our weekly session. I will decide if I'm able to do it twice or three times in a week. But thank you so much for those who are following me. So those who have listened or watched my previous live session that I did last week, they will remember that I indicated that I will now be showing how to use AI, or how I would actually incorporate AI in my videos. So I think that is the case I've done. So there is a song that I think I produced that song while I was busy with my album, which I released on the 30th of April this year. But I believed that it really did not fit to what I was trying to push in that album, because I believe it's a very spirit-filled album, and I thought, since it was focusing or dedicated to something else, so I thought, let me just keep it and not release it as yet. But it was ready to my view based on how I work, but I decided to keep it and not release it so that I can still continue working on it. So now I started playing around with the AI software that it's Suno, and I've been thinking, how can I use it best on my part to actually improve my production. I know the elements in terms of music production that I struggle with, but I was like, I won't go full blown, because I think for me the main reason I actually started developing interest in music was I like creating, I like being creative. So I don't think I'll ever be one of those people who are lazy to just prompt it and it gives you something. I always like, let me rather give it the idea that something I've already created, to say, how can you improve it? And then if there's elements that I like from that, then I'll take those and incorporate in what I'm doing. So the way I like it is to say, there's people who can have their own views on AI, whether it's wrong or it's not wrong. I don't think that's what we should focus on, because if you look at the listeners, the viewers, all they care about is music. All they care about is listening to music. But what is important is for us who make music to just be honest to yourself. It's not even about the viewers and the people that you talk to. Just be honest to yourself in the process that you go through in your production. But do you enjoy production, or what elements do you take from that? Because the honest thing is, you can give it. I think I also did. There's a song that I wrote and I recorded, just hook. And I gave it to one of my friends to say, guys, can you put your verses here? So what I did, I put it in Suno. I said, finish it, give me the verses and the bridges. And it did that, So if you were someone else, you would just take it and post it as it is, or just change it to your own persona and make it like it's you singing. But that's not the right way, especially if you want to be honest to say, that's what you did. But what I like to do is just take some elements. It's like hiring someone to come and play a flute or a guitar or a bass guitar for you, or make some drums. That's how I take it, to say there's things I'm struggling with in production, So if Suno can be able to do those things for me, those specific elements. Then I'm going to create them and put them in whatever a project that I'm working on. And then when you distribute it, yes, you must indicate if there is some elements of AI. You need to be very honest. So we're going to play a song before I continue. I hope my CPU carries me through this video. I'm just going to track it. I don't want to take more than 20 minutes. I hope I'll just show you how I created one of my beats now. I did not want to do a bit of how to as I am doing it. I thought, let me work on it in the background. Then once I have something that I can come and show you guys, then I'll just make this quick video. It shouldn't take more than 20 minutes. So I'm gonna play the song. It's Mama. The song is dedicated to my mom, who unfortunately passed on when I was very young. It was even before I knew myself even, you know. So it's one of those things whenever I think about her, I always think to say it's the person that I will never get to see in my lifetime. You know, it's not nice. It's really not a nice thing, but I do think about her to say, how would she be, you know, to appreciate her, you know, to see me grow, to see me getting successful in all those things. She never got to see any of those things. So I try to paint that idea in a song to say, you know what, I miss you, Mama. I wish you were there so that I can show you love, you know, so that I can appreciate you and all those things. But it's all to say she must rest in peace. I love her so much. So I'm going to play the song. Once the song is done, it takes just 2 minutes, and then we're going to carry on and go to the project that I want to demonstrate to you. All right, so let's go to the song.
I wish I had a chance to see you, Mama. I wish I had a chance to know you, Ma. I wish I had a chance to give you love, to make you proud, and to know your love, to give you love, to make you proud. It hurts me so to know that you are no more, and in my whole life I will never see you. It hurts me so to know that you are no more, and in my whole life I will never show you love. Rest in peace, Mama. Rest in peace, Mama. Ulale kahle, Mama. Ulale kahle, Mama. Rest in peace, Mama. Rest in peace, Mama. Ulale kahle, Mama. Ulale kahle, Mama.
Yeah, so that's the song. Rest in peace, Mama. So you can see, even if you can go back to my album, you know, the one that I recently released, you can see in terms of the production, obviously there is a difference, you know, because now there is a guitar, you know, a lead guitar, which is something I don't play, which is something I've never even included in my my beats. But if it makes my sound sound good and polished and balanced, I think it's an element that, I may take it on, in terms of my production. It's just a pity that the AI system is very expensive to actually have access to the studio itself where you can prompt it. So, but it's still nice because the way I do it, I take an instrumental that I have done and then I put it there and prompt it to say put a lead guitar and all those things, so it can still give me, and then I get the stems and I work with those stems, which is what I am now going to show you. So if you look here, I have an instrumental that I have just created. So if you look at this instrumental, these are all the elements that I have in the beat, and if you see at the bottom there's some elements that I extracted from Suno just to go behind and assist the instrumental. So I can say this is an instrument. This is a hip hop, Afro pop something instrumental. And it's actually based on an idea that I had when I was creating it, to say, I don't know if I can. So it's more like saying that it's someone that is going through pain, someone who is experiencing hardships and difficulties, to say that I don't know if I can carry through the pain, But it's a way to say that in the verses, something that I need to paint out is to say, just to send a message there that there is a God who says, come to you all you who are heavily burdened, who are weary and heavily burdened, he will give us rest. So whoever is experiencing difficult times, they must just seek the Lord and draw near to the Lord, so that the Lord can actually help them go through that situation. He says, take my yoke, for it's light. He will take your problems and he will give you his yoke, which is light. So it's I always write around the word and the Bible. That's how I get inspiration. I don't get inspired in any other way. So this is the instrumental. So what I did, just to give you an idea of what I did. So basically, it was just this here. I sent this loop, which is about 51 seconds, not even a minute, 51 seconds. So all the other elements were not there, but what I had was, I'll just put it here. All right, so I made, let me see, yes, I made this. So what I did, I put the drums, the percussions, and then I put the kick drum here, and then I put the crash, and then I laid some electronic piano, and I made a variation of that piano here, and then I put some pluck in terms of the melodies. I supported that with a pluck from Nexus, which is more like a bell that I always like to use in my instrumentals, and then I put some pad from Expand. So here, this is how it sounded before I took it to Suno. So it give me an idea, it give me a cover for this that takes more than 2 minutes. All right, so that's the kick. A bit of variation. All right, so this is what I then exported in a wave and took it to Suno, and then from Suno it gives you 2 versions. So from those versions, there is this one which I took, but when I extracted the stems for the guitar, I took 2 versions. There's version 1 and version 2 of the Gator. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play this version that Suno gave me. I put a new arrangement so that I just put it outside, so that it doesn't affect, so that whatever elements that I hear when I'm listening here, I then take them to my project. Okay, so I'm gonna play it. Already you can hear there is because I said there must be an active, and I prompted it to have an active lead guitar, you know, throughout. It's so beautiful, and I obviously can't do something like this, so I can't just take this and post it online and say it's mine. There's no way. It's changing now. Wow. The piano, oh my god, the keyboard. I mean, you get the idea, right? So that's what we have. So now let's go to my arrangement. So one of the first things that I did is, right, I focused on the drums, right? So with the drums, the things that I wanted to take was, I noticed their snap is really good. So that's why you see here, I took that snap and then I merged it with my snap. So I put it so it goes together. All right, so it doesn't change the rhythm of my instrumental, but I'm just adding that snap so that it goes together with my snap, because I already had a snap. All right, and then the next thing I focused on there, because when I prompted it, I said, give me like active and nice drum transitions. Yeah, but that's what I wanted, because I always struggle with drum transitions. So if this can assist me with transitions in line with what I'm trying to create, then I'm gonna take those. So listen, so here, all right, you see boom boom boom, that's one. And then I went through the drums, and then I was just pinpointing on it, picking the, you see, that's very good. I won't lie, that's very good. So I'm not taking the drums, because there's obviously an arrangement that whoever was covering this instrumental had in their mind, but I'm taking it to what I want to create. So I wanted creative drum transitions. So these are the ones that I'm using, and I did not go through and take all of them. I just decided to stick on just two, so that at least it keeps the theme of the instrumental. And then the next thing, all right, sorry, I had my bass, I did not activate there. I always, this is the original bass that I had. So the whole bass that Suno created, it created it based on this bass that I have, and I decided to keep it still in some parts, you know, in some parts, especially the hook. All right, so now let's go to the, and then what I did next is incorporate now the bass, right? The bass, I took the bass, and then there is so this bass, I put it in verse 1, I put it in verse 2, and then in the final hook I put that bass, blended it with mine, and then I closed it with that bass. And then the next thing, some of the elements that I put in was the piano. But firstly, let's hear the bass, how it goes. So I like the fact that they keep it within the chords, the key, as well as the rhythm, the tempo. Oh my God. Because with this bass, I like the variations, which I wouldn't think about, you know. So I'm going to utilize those. There. So you can see there is another transition that I used from their drums. So the first one is this one. All right, the second one is, and then the third one, which I just noticed, especially when now I'm going to the hook. That's the one I'm using right here. It's the same one I used when I go to the last hook. So this is good. And then the other thing that I use now is the lead guitar. It really nice. It's the main instrumental that blends this beat. So I think there is one element that I forgot in terms of the drums. I also took their percussions there, here, right? I took their just for this part as we move to the next section of the beat. And then now I'm going to introduce the lead guitar. I did not want to put it right from the start because I started with the intro. My arrangement says intro, and the intro builds, and then we start with the hook. All right, I'm just gonna activate the keyboard as well. All right, because I took some elements from the keyboard as well. I just let it play until the end so that you can hear it, okay? So I did not use it exactly the way they applied it. So I was chopping and, you know, arranging it to the way that I feel like it's gonna fit in this specific instrumental. All right. So that's my bass now. That's my bass that is on now. But it blends nicely. Oh no. Oh, I like that. So what I did in the last hook, I swap it so that it starts with the piano. Oh my god. The percussions that are also used there. The next step now, I need to write on this and record my vocals. Hi. Yeah. That's yes, that's the instrumental. So you're gonna hear. I'm going to write on this now. I am going to continue working on it and add some more elements. I think in terms of the bass, or the foundation now, I think it's solid. I can then add some elements and continue mixing it and just make it spacious and everything. It's really good. It's other times. So now I'm just gonna check, in terms of how long it took me to actually produce this instrumental. Okay. On the project info, it took me 2 hours. Right, obviously it's gonna be more because I'm still going to mix it and add some more elements, and most of the time I don't render it and record in a separate session, but I just record on top of what I already have, so that if there is specific elements that I need to change or that I need to pen and side chain and behave around the vocals that I'm gonna put in, that's what I always do when I mix. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this session, I'll give it a thumbs up, share it to anyone that you think they may be able to use it. I think next I'm just gonna go through the process, because now I skipped the process of actually going through Suno of how do you load your sample, because one thing I can tell you is you cannot take someone's song and think you can load it there. You can't, because they will detect it. They will detect copyrights. So it must actually be your song. Make sure it's your sample, it's your song, it's not someone else's. So I think I like that it encourages you to have an idea. You can still prompt it without any idea, but the danger of that is it's gonna give you what it can give you. But when you give it an instrumental or a song of your own to say, cover this song, at least it's basing it on your idea. So it's gonna be easy for you to take those elements and then incorporate it to your own projects. That's the process I'm currently following, to say, let me make something, create something, then take it there, cover it, give me some specific elements that I know I can't play a guitar, I can't play a bass guitar. Those are my weaknesses when it comes to production. And if this can assist me, I know I'm just gonna use it just to perfect my production wherever possible. Otherwise, I try to keep it within 20 minutes. Right now the video is 29 minutes 40. So thank you so much for those who are subscribed, and thank you so much even to those who are going to subscribe now. Go to my channel, and under releases you're gonna see all the music that I have released. Please stream it in all digital platforms. God bless you. Thank you so much. Anelation Music is now signing out. Thanks.